the PS5 Pro. I'm sure everyone's familiar with the term Pro. The PS4 Pro was a huge leap in performance and technology compared to the original PS4 when it released. And so naturally, everyone thought that when the PS5 Pro was going to be revealed, it was going to be mind blowing what upgrades they had made. Turns out it's just a normal PS5 with a couple more things added to it. And look, while these upgrades are technically upgrades and do increase performance and stuff, I don't think it's enough to justify the name Pro in the console, especially when you take into consideration the outrageous price of $700. Yes, that's right. The PS5 Pro is going to cost $700, and that is without a disk drive or even a stand. Now, when the PS5 first released and I looked into it and then I eventually got it, I was really impressed with it. I already thought it was a pretty powerful console, a pretty good console. And when they said they were going to make a PS5 Pro, I always got to thinking, what's going to be so pro about it? Well, what more are they going to add to a console that's going to make it so much better? I honestly doubted that there was ever going to be much, and I doubted it was going to be worth it. And I'm glad that, actually, no, I don't know if I should be glad that I was right. I think for once I'm not happy that I was right because it's $700. Look, it's no secret that Sony is another huge, rich company who loves money. Okay, a lot of big companies do that. That's not a new discovery. Whether it be the insane new game prices with games that release on PlayStation, even games that are also on PC are still way more expensive on PlayStation, or the price of the 3 different memberships you get for PlayStation Plus, or the fact you even have to pay for PlayStation Plus in order to be able to play certain games that online that's not already free to play online. I'm pretty used to Sony loving money because why wouldn't they? Every big company does majority of the time. And usually when it comes to things like paying for PS Plus to play online, you don't have much of a choice in the matter. If you want to play certain games with your friends, you're going to have PS Plus. But for the PS5 Pro, for once, you have a choice. For those of you who already have a base PS5 and are trying to consider whether the PS5 Pro is worth it to sell your normal PS5 and pay that amount of money, that extra amount of money to get the Pro, I can honestly tell you it's not. You don't get much more on the PS5 Pro. So let's look at some of the upgrades they actually boast about, which is literally they listed 4. Number 1, on their website, PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR. When you say the acronym PSSR, it sounds very familiar. It's because this is basically their version, PlayStation's version of FSR. And if you don't know what FSR is, it's AMD's Fidelity Super Resolution thing that basically allows for higher frame rates at higher resolutions. And it does that by using an upscaling technology to upscale basically the resolution of your games. It's very similar, in my understanding, I may be wrong, but it's very similar to NVIDIA's DLSS, which if you have an NVIDIA graphics card on PC, that's what you're going to be using, DLSS, not FSR. If you have an AMD graphics card, you're going to be using FSR. So yeah, PSSR is just PlayStation's version of FSR, which in my opinion is something that should have been added to the PS5 Slim, not held on to for a pro console. It's not really a pro thing. I feel like it's a very normal thing that should be added to the base console, and at a much lower price than $700. Whatever the price of the PS5 Slim is, I feel like that price could have stood the test of time with these upgrades. The next upgrade they list is optimized console performance to reach higher and more consistent frame rates for silky smooth gameplay with support for 60Hz, 120Hz display. Not much going on there. One in a higher frame rate that comes with the super resolution thing and whatever. Let's be real. Majority of the time on the PS5, if you playing games that is like online massive games or competitive games where you want a higher frame rate, chances are you playing it at lower graphic settings anyway, so you would probably be getting those higher frame rates. Because let's no one's playing competitive games at high graphics settings. That's ridiculous. And for actual story based games, and games that Sony is very good at making, a lot of titles like The Last of Us, Spider-Man, and whatnot, 60 FPS is really like, people are fine with getting 60 FPS, but people have managed below 60 FPS for a long time. Do I think a PS5 should be running at 30 FPS? No, no, I don't. But yeah, people are not going to really give a shit about frame rate much in those type of games. Let's be real. The next thing they have is advanced ray tracing, which is basically just better ray tracing, more reflections and shadows and shit. And I don't. It's another thing that no one's really that interested in. People who play games with ray tracing play it for the gimmick of ray tracing. Eventually, they either turn it off for performance or they keep playing the game because it looks really good in ray tracing. And those games, majority of the time, end up being these story mode, beautiful games, cinematic games where the frame rate really doesn't matter that much. And in terms of fast paced games, that ray tracing is going to go unnoticed. No one's, let's say you're playing a like any fast paced action game, no one's standing around looking at reflections. In all that motion, you're going to hardly notice a thing. The reflection adds this much level of immersion and graphics wise. It doesn't change the whole gameplay experience. Not really. That's something many people have come to terms with a long time ago on PC, because PC had ray tracing already before the PS5. Was it great? No, but it was there. It's a lot better now. Besides that, upgraded storage, some and the usual normal PS5 things. I just feel like, also that was only three things they listed, so not even four. They listed three things on the PlayStation side. That's it. One, two, yeah. And all this, you get these three upgrades, as well as a slightly better graphics card, as far as I know. From what they mentioned, there will be a slightly better graphics card. What graphics card is it? What GPU is it? I don't know, because they never released anything on what the GPU is, what the CPU is, any details about that. So yeah, you don't actually know this until the PS5 Pro actually releases and people can dig into that. And all in all, once again, this is releasing at $700, no disk drive, no stand included. $700 for a digital only console is madness. At this rate, at that price, you might as well spend slightly more and get a whole PC. And I saw a spider, I had a killer spider on my desk. Okay, we won't talk about that. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, at this rate, you might as well just spend a couple extra and get a whole PC. If you're buying a console at $700, let's be real, it's way more better for you to just get a PC at that point. If not, if you don't plan to spend $700 on a PS5 Pro, then I'm happy for you. The PS5 is fine. You don't need more than that. Not for a console, no ways. Not at that price. If it was anything lower, sure, get it, but it's not lower. And this is the price they say it's going to release at. Look, if I convert $700 to South African rands, which is the currency in my country, it'll come to around the same price as a normal PS5. But that's the direct conversion. It's not taken into account when the PS5 Pro actually releases in this country. It'll probably release at like a somewhat 1,000 rand more than the normal PS5, which is about 10,000, 11,000 rand for the disc edition. The thought process behind whoever comes up with this is just ridiculous. It's such a it's unapologetically a scam. And for the first time, I think in a long time, almost everyone I've seen agrees that the PS5 Pro is nothing but a scam, including people who are like die-hard PlayStation fans and console fans. Everyone agrees it's a scam. Well, people are going to buy it. And let's be real, we know about scalpers. I feel like when the PS5 Pro releases, scalpers are gonna go insane with that again, and it's gonna be even more expensive when they buy all the consoles on the market and then sell it for an even higher price. So yeah, this was really underwhelming. I never looked forward to the Pro. I honestly didn't even consider a Pro. Even the PS4, when the Pro came out, I wasn't really interested. I've been rocking the base PS4, not even the PS4 Slim, the base PS4, the original PS4, ever since it released, because I have like the limited edition Darth Vader one, so I didn't want to get rid of it. It's been fine as a console. I don't expect much more from consoles. I'm happy with what it is. The Nintendo Switch OLED was definitely like a disappointing reveal because it was just a Nintendo Switch but with a better screen. But yeah, the PS5 Pro really takes the cake because the PS5 Pro, unlike the Nintendo Switch OLED, is actually advertised as a Pro with a insanely higher price. Yeah, no. Yeah, please don't buy the PS5 Pro. Please, for your own good. Unless you're rich. If you're rich, I don't think you give a shit. You just buy it. But also, if you're rich, you can buy a whole PC. I know some people prefer consoles just for the simplicity of it. Like, if you're not interested in all the other stuff that comes with getting a PC. But, like, no, just no. Anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to talk about this briefly. I know it's not like my usual videos where there's a lot going on. This is just me talking to the camera about this little drop because I wanted to give my opinion on it. Not that it matters. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe if you want more. Remember to leave a comment down below on your opinion on the PS5 Pro.